So Shannon, this is the last video I'm going to address you with, and this is teaching for women. So your rock is not my rock, Deuteronomy 32. You cover with the covering, but not of my spirit, so you can add sin to sin, Isaiah 30, because that's the heart of that's your heart posture. Instead of going and reading the scripture that I gave you in my last two videos, your pride is having you spew this apostate doctrine because you don't know what the definitions, the idioms of these words means. Like, what is the rock that he's referring to? For Yeshua is that cornerstone, that rock. And he becomes a rock of offense, a stumbling stone, a stone that they stumble upon, right? Both houses, the house of Israel and the house of Judah. He becomes a rock of offense because they stumble. They don't understand the refreshing that I gave you in Acts 3:18 through Acts chapter 3, verse 18 through 36, quoting Deuteronomy 18:15 through 19, the testimony Jehovah gave of his son, of the refreshing of the Holy Covenant. Isaiah 28, the land of the pride, the drunkards, because drunkenness needs pride. Go read Isaiah 28:29. They stagger but not on strong drink. They're drunk but not on wine. They're drunk on their pride, and that is you, Shannon. You're drunk on your pride. You won't go read the scriptures. I gave you a ton of scripture with the verses, the books, and the chapters to go read. Did you go read them? No. Because you're prideful. You are ignorant of Jehovah's righteousness, and you've gone to establish your own righteousness. Romans 10, but you got a zeal for God, but not according to knowledge. Because you reject his knowledge, you reject his law, his covenant, he will reject you and your children. Your Messiah told you to go learn what this meant, that he desired mercy over sacrifice and the knowledge of God over burnt offerings. He was quoting Hosea chapter 4 verse 6 and Hosea chapter 6 verse 6 about the refreshing of the covenants that you reject. Yeshua was that cornerstone, that rock at the rock of Horeb in Exodus 17. And Deuteronomy 4 and 5. 1 Corinthians 10. The elders were baptized under that cloud, quoting Deuteronomy chapter 4 and Deuteronomy chapter 5. The rock of Horeb that you should build your house upon, but you don't know what the rock means. You don't know what it signifies. You don't know that the life-giving water in Exodus 17, what they thirsted, what they begged for, what they desired at Horeb in the day of the assembly, under that cloud where they only heard Jehovah's voice and saw no similitude, and he declared unto him his covenants, his 10 commandments that they were baptized in. At the rock of Horeb, where the life-giving water was given. You know, his parables and his idioms. Revelations 22:14, blessed are they who do his commandments, that they have right to the tree of life and are able to enter into the gates to the city, the kingdom. And Yeshua sent his angel to testify those things unto the churches, but they rejected it. So they're without the dogs and the whoremongers and the sorcerers and the adulterers and the murderers and those who love it to make a lie. Those who say they know him and keep not his commandments, that are liars, that I gave you in the last video. And those that are thirst are able to drink from the waters freely, the life-giving water in Exodus 17. And Deuteronomy 4 and 5, what was given at the rock of Horeb that you should build your house upon, you've built it on sand, though. You don't know what the rock signifies. Because those who take hold of the Son, the vine in John 15, who love him and keep his commandments, who obey the Son, Hebrews chapter 5 verse 9, because Yeshua becomes the author of eternal salvation for those who obey the Son, who love him and keep his commandments. The elders in 1 Corinthians 10 were baptized in the 10 Commandments. Yeshua casted out demons with the finger of God. The finger of God wrote the 10 Commandments, Luke 11. Yeshua cast out demons with the Spirit of God. The Spirit of God is only given to those who obey God, Acts 5:32, who love him and keep his commandments, John 14. Who honor their father and their mother in the Lord. For the first commandment with promise in Ephesians chapter 6, 1 through 4, which is Deuteronomy chapter 6, your Messiah's first and great commandment, to love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, with all thy might, to keep the 10 Commandments, what was desired at the rock of Horeb. In the day of the assembly, what was prophesied that Yeshua would give you. You don't have the rock. Your rock is not my rock. My rock is Yeshua, the Messiah, who came in the Father's name, who gave his Father's commandments to love God and to love neighbor, that you're supposed to build your house upon, not on sand, not on fables, not on pixie dust. You just gotta believe and not obey the gospel. He tells you in John 5, verse 37, they had neither seen or heard the Father at any time as Yeshua spoke to the people. He says, search the scriptures, for in them you'll find your eternal salvation. It was what was testified of him. The testimony. Isaiah chapter 8 verse 20, if they don't speak according to the law and the testimony of the Son, there's no light in them. You don't speak according to the law and the testimony of Yeshua. You don't have the testimony of Yeshua that the servants have. You don't have the Messiah's name. You don't have the Father's name. Your ignorance of Jehovah's righteousness, and you've gone to establish your own righteousness. You have not submitted yourself onto the righteousness of God. Romans 10, you don't even understand my speech because you are of your father, the devil. A liar and a murderer from the beginning. If you understood Yeshua's commandments to love God and love neighbor, you would understand why he said that to the Pharisees. Because they broke the commandments of God by their traditions of men. Matthew 15 and Mark 7, they flattered Jehovah with their mouth, but their heart was far from him. They didn't have the commandments written on their hearts. That's why he says, from the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks, that defiles a man. He was referring to Deuteronomy chapter 6. His first and great commandment he gave you, the rock that you should build your house upon, Yeshua, and take hold and obey his commandments that he gave you, that Jehovah will require of you, what was testified in Deuteronomy 18.